Hello again, everybody. I'm Barry Landers, along with Kerry Gluck, Deer Park coach, on a cloudy, warm afternoon here in May with the weather threatening, Kerry. We may have some thunder showers, but it should be a heck of a game. Calhoun last year went right to the finals against Garden City in Nassau County. Came off a 21-2 year. They're playing well in Levittown Division, always with a great tradition and, of course, a great goaltender.
Well, I think we really have a good game here, Barry. Both teams are still now preparing themselves for the playoffs. They want to get ready to go into the playoffs next week, and I think we're really going to see them get into that style of play.
Well, Calhoun comes in with a fine record. They have 6-3 in league play. They're right behind, of course, that great Garden City club. Let's talk about this Calhoun team because they lost 5 key players, all seniors who are playing Division I lacrosse this year, yet they've played very well this year, and they're a balanced team. Yes,
they are. If you look at their attack is a very well-balanced team. Of course, they're being led by Brian Pollock. Pollock has really done an outstanding job for them. He's an excellent player from behind. He's got good size. He's got great vision on the field. He really has a nice dimension to their offense.
Well, Pollock with those 44 assists, setting up a lot of people. And you look at the midfield, too. They're very, very effective in the midfield as well.
Yes, John Schliff has done an outstanding job for Calhoun at the midfield area. He also is a threat up top, and that's what you want to have, a balanced offense between a man behind and a man up top.
Schliff has some 27 goals. Ed O'Grady has some 20 goals. And defensively, that zone defense stopping teams, holding them to just about 5 goals a game.
They're tough on defense. That zone really comes out at you. It pressures you on the ball, makes you shoot from outside, and that's why they've been so successful, only giving up 5 goals a game.
Paul Bracker's done a fine job in goal. We'll talk more about him a little bit later. Let's turn to division, because just a few years ago under Sean Marcy, they were top of the poll among Nassau County teams. This year they've struggled offensively, scoring just about 7 goals. Excellent defense, despite the fact that 5 starters on defense graduated. They've been plagued by some recent injuries on defense. They're going to have a tough time defensively trying to stop Calhoun today.
Yeah, they sure will. Their defense has got to really come together in this game, and of course with the lack of experience that they really have their job cut out for them.
Of course, the guy who's going to have to do a lot of the stopping today, the brilliant goaltender, many people feel maybe the best in Nassau County or maybe the best on Long Island, Jerry DiLorenzo.
No doubt that Jerry is certainly one of the more outstanding goalkeepers, and I certainly would say certainly on Long Island, if not in New York State. He played Empire State. He's almost everybody's All-American. He was All-County for 2 years. He's been the guy that's really been holding Division's defense together, and he's really going to have to do a job today, I think.
All right, offensively, Levittown Division going to have to be patient against that zone defense. Who can we look for offensively to try and score today?
Well, I think Chris Carbonell is the man that they have to look for on the attack, and I think you're right, Barry. They have to be patient. They have to take their good shots, and I think they have to make every shot count.
Rob Bergeau with 17 goals at midfield, also a guy to watch. He's their leading midfield player. And as we said, defensively, they're going to have their hands full with a balanced Calhoun team. Should be a great game, and our colleague, Carl Reuter, returns with both coaches, 2 outstanding coaches, Jim Amon and Dick Skillman, in just a moment. You're watching High School Lacrosse on Cablevision.
Today, there's a better way to bank. Introducing the Apple Bank family. Join the Apple Bank family and your personal family banker will respond immediately to your financial needs. You'll get discounts on loans, a Visa card at a great low rate, free no-bounce checking, and more. Join the Apple Bank family and feel good about banking again. Come in or call Apple Bank for savings. We're good for you.
Carl Reuter back here at Levittown Division with Jimmy Amon, the coach of Division, and to my right here is Dick Skillman, the coach of Calhoun. 17 years on the sidelines, and Dick, I guess playoffs right around the corner. Any kind of special preparation? I know today's an important game, but you're thinking playoffs?
We're definitely thinking playoffs. We're thinking of doing very well in the playoffs, and we're hoping to go as far as we did last year and get another shot at Garden City. We're playing well, and we have everybody healthy. No one's injured, so we're looking forward to a good game today.
First time in a long time that you're healthy, huh? Must make a coach feel pretty good.
Well, we've had a couple of little small injuries here and there where boys haven't been able to play throughout the whole year, but basically we're all healthy now, and we're looking forward to a great game today.
Coach, you have that Calhoun hat on, but your son plays here in the Levittown School District. You live here in Levittown. Do you divide it up at the dinner table?
Well, at the dinner table, my son plays in the 8th grade here. He's playing for Jimmy's 9th grade team at Division, and we always talk lacrosse at the table.
Well, I'm sure with a father who's been in the game so long, I'm sure he's learned a lot about the game of lacrosse. Dick, best of luck in today's ball game.
Thank you very much.
All right, let me turn around here to Jimmy Amon. And Jimmy, kind of a little bit of a roller coaster in the middle of the year. You'd lost 4 in a row. Now you've won 3 out of your last 4. Are you priming for the playoffs?
Well, I don't know if we're priming for the playoffs. We're looking forward to the playoffs, but I think we're looking forward to today's game. Today's a pivotal game for us.
All right, why so pivotal now?
Well, it'll give us a 5-5 record in the league. It'll make us 10-7 instead of 9-8, and you know, we just think it's an opportunity for us, you know, to maybe get back onto the right track.
What do you have to do this time around? You lost them at their place by a score of 7-3. Your team does not score that many goals. You're going to have to rely on the defense today?
Well, we lost 2 starters. We lost 1 starter with a separated shoulder, Peter Romano, against Calhoun the first time, and we just lost Roy Suhaki, our close defenseman. So, yeah, we're going to have to play good defense. We've got to patch up defense here. We hope DiLorenzo will come up big, and we got to try to score against Coach Skillman's zone. It's going to be a tough game, but we got to try to do it.
How tough is this league?
It's the best league around. They added Calhoun, and Calhoun went to the finals with Garden City last year. We got MacArthur, which has an excellent team. Division Avenue is always good. Calhoun, Garden City speaks for itself.
It speaks for itself. So does your record. An assistant coach at Hopkins for about 6 years. Good luck in today's ball game,
Thanks
Jimmy.
very much. Thank you very much.
Jimmy Amen and Dick Skillman, a handshake before today's game, and Barry and Carey will be back with the opening faceoff following this timeout. You're watching high school lacrosse on Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network.
How expensive is your free checking? You're looking at checking that's really free. That's right. Here at Apple Bank, there are no check charges and no monthly fees, nothing. Plus, you get 5.25% interest on any balance over $700. So come in and get the free checking that you and your money deserve.
Apple Bank for savings. We're good for you.
We're back at Division Avenue Field here in Levittown, where the Dragons getting set to play the Colts. And let's take a look at the starting lineups for both clubs. For Calhoun, Donnie Finnegan, Tommy Nader, and Brian Pollock. Very good, well-balanced attack unit. In the midfield, John Schliff and Ed O'Callaghan. They are the goal scorers. Adam Greaves, good ground ball man. And on defense, an outstanding defense right there. Bill O'Brien, the leader of that defense, and the good goalie in Paul Bracker. And for Division, Brad Parpin, a young man who is coming into his own. Chris Carbonell, the leading scorer. On defense, Rob Bergeau, Matt Huggard, whose brother was a big star here, and Steve Coffey. Division, that defense beset by injuries to, you heard, Peter Romano, and of course Suhaki, the other boy, injured. So they're going to go with Walter Scott filling in defensively, and Tom Connolly, and the goalie, Jerry DiLorenzo, the preseason All-American goaltender. And there you look at both of them. Excellent goals against average for both those goalies.
Both teams are doing superbly defense, Barry. Anytime you can hold a team down of about 5 goals a game, you really should win the game, and that's what they've been doing.
Gary, the last time these clubs played, they played in the rain back on April 24th over at Calhoun in the North Merrick area. Usually, Levittown Division's had a history of playing well in the rain, but not so this year. They seem to lose every game in the rain. They fell behind 5-0. DiLorenzo didn't have a good day. Eventually, it wound up 7-3.
Well, it's tough. When you're playing in the rain, Barry, it really gives you advantage to an offense, and a defensive team that's been patchwork together, as Division has been doing, would have difficulty.
Kerry, right now the officials are taking a look at the sticks, and of course there was a big controversy last week here at Nassau County involving the sticks of some players on Hicksville and Farmingdale. It resulted in a game result being turned over, washed out. Hicksville had beaten Farmingdale. They reversed that, and it was declared no game. Then right after that, Baldwin knocked off Farmingdale, knocked them from the unbeaten ranks. And by the way, this Levittown Division team beat Baldwin 6-0. So this Levittown Division team, certainly the underdog, but they can play.
I think they certainly have the potential to score goals, and I think as Jimmy Amen has said, if his team takes the good goals as we watch the face-off, they'll be in this match.
You see Greaves getting ready for the face-off there in blue.
I think this is a very important part of the game for Coach Skillman and the Calhoun team. The face-offs are very important for him to control, and possession of the ball is very important for Calhoun.
Well, they'll come up with it, and Calhoun with the ball right now. Matt Huggard. All right, we'll give you the rundown, number 8, and they'll work the ball around. Calhoun team in blue. And, of course, Levittown Division wearing their gray uniforms with white numerals. Huggard, number 8, will go behind the cage. Check it, it's John Schliff behind the cage. Schliff looking to set it up on the wing. Number 27 is Brian Pollock, excellent feeder. Out on top, Ed O'Callaghan shot blocked. Look at DiLorenzo race after it. He is a guy, a leader out there. He'll go after every loose ball, and just the kind of inspirational player that a team has to have.
I was just going to say that, Barry. You need that kind of a player in the goal. He's the captain of the defense. He's the leader of the defense. He pulls them together, and when you get that kind of play from a goalie, it really does inspire the rest of the defensemen.
Once again, we'll identify the players here. As the number 27 working is Brian Pollock. Drops it off. It's recovered by Adam Greaves, 24. Back to Pollock, who'll go behind. 44 assists for this young man. He's checked, lost the ball, but he gets it back. Great stick control. He was a midfielder last year, and we get a call made.
Yeah, the offensive player there, Barry, for Calhoun, number 27, Pollock, hit the ball with his hand, and you're not allowed to use your hand to help advance the ball or to gain control of the ball.
There are the officials working the game, and we'll give them for you. It's Bob Hirsch and Bill Cole. As you can see, Bill on the left and Bob on the right. Let's see what kind of a ride they're going to use right here. They're a zone defense team normally, Calhoun, and it's tough for teams. They got to show a lot of patience. And a good goalie can help on the clear here, but the ball checked, lost by Pfeiffer, the defenseman, number 75, and back in the hands of Calhoun.
But one of the things I think Calhoun's going to try and do as they ride the clear from division is they're going to try and shut off DiLorenzo. He's excellent out of the cage, and he passes very well, and he's a very important part of their clear. So I think you're going to see them try and shut off DiLorenzo.
Calhoun averaging about 9 goals a game, and now they'll break it and bring it in. Adam Greaves, 24. Drops it back. This is Schliff, the excellent midi. He's cut off defensively by number 14, Joe Fela. Schliff, nice bounce opportunity, broken up in front, and recovered by number 44, Ed O'Callahan, who has 20 goals, a soccer and a wrestler. That's O'Callahan, excellent shot. Predominantly righty, but he scored 4 goals earlier this year, left-handed. Good look, but it could not be held on the pass to Robert Munson cutting in front. Calhoun will use a lot of players on attack.
Look at where DiLorenzo is right now, Barry. He comes up with that loose ball way almost at the outside of the box, and that's the dimension that Calhoun gets with him in the goal.
Unsettled situation for Levittown Division, and a score! Number 23, Chris Carbonell, with his 30th goal of the year, set up by the clear by goaltender Jerry DiLorenzo.
No doubt, DiLorenzo is the man who's responsible for that goal. He chased the ball all the way to the wing area. He came up with the play, came up with the ball, and he started the whole offense. As we see the replay, and if we catch it right from the goalie, there's DiLorenzo looking upfield. That's the dangerous part about him on the clear, Barry. He starts it all, looking right upfield to the attackmen as they set up in the fast break. And there we are on the weak side, and number 23,
Chris Carbonell.
Chris Carbonell makes it look easy, takes a nice bounce shot, and of course Paul Brackner was in deep trouble.
Carbonell's 30th goal of the year. He comes off a 3-goal, 3-assist effort against West Hempstead. An 11-9 win the other day for Levittown. So they draw first blood. That's what you want to do against a zone defense team, because it's tough to come back against zone defense clubs because you have to be much more patient. It's good to get ahead of them.
Exactly, and a matter of fact, you may even pull them out of the zone defense if they get up a couple of goals, and that would be great for Jimmy Amon's team.
All right, Carbonell at 2:15 of the opening period. Schliff blocked in front. Good defensive work there by the Levittown Division defense.
And of course, again, here we see Division looking right to go to DiLorenzo with the ball. Let him start the attack right from his goal area.
Puts a lot of pressure on the attackmen riding, because they have to be quick and be able to work themselves into some good position.
And DiLorenzo using his crease very smartly also.
And he'll wing it off to the near side. That's Walter Scott, the young defenseman. He's just a junior. Played long pole as a junior last year, as a sophomore.
Well, that's the pass Calhoun would like to force Division to make, that long cross-field pass with the inexperienced players.
Scott picks it up. Nice play. He'll drop it off on the near side to Carbonell. Carbonell looking to set it up. He's got number 8, Matt Huggard, cutting to the cage. Instead, it goes behind. And they'll work it now. That's Brad Parpin, number 20. Number 44, Steve Coffey. And a high rising shot by Carbonell. They had a backer there, as backing up the play was Brad Parpin, who's just a sophomore, and he's going to be an outstanding player. Lacks a little foot speed, but they really like him.
He's doing very well. He's doing very well, Barry. He's got 7 goals and 16 assists, and that's great for a sophomore playing in this league.
Basketball and a football player. Now they work it outside. Coffey, 44, sending it to the far side. Number 8 is Matt Huggard with 4 goals. Number 3 is Rob Bergeau. They'll look to set up Bergeau quite a bit. He has an excellent shot. Carbonell, check, lost the ball. Good check there.
That's one thing that you can't do against the zone, Barry. You can't run and try and dodge the zone because there's always somebody else backing up. So you have to pass, you have to make the zone move and move the ball. And the ball can always move faster than somebody's legs.
Zones are tough for most teams to handle. Not that many teams use the zone. So when you come up against zone defensive team, as we see the shot, score! Taken by number 8, Matt Huggard, and it's 2-0. His 5th goal of the year. I was just going to say, when you come up against zone defensive teams, it generally takes a little while till you get going.
Well, and, you know, obviously Jimmy Amon's teams have played against the zone more than once, so they should be accustomed to it. But the zone has to take the shots up top, just like Matt Huggard does right here. He takes that shot from outside, and it takes a bounce, nice bounce shot up over the goalie's off-stick side, and that's where you want to take the shot, to the off-stick side on the goalie.
Well, the scouting report had Bracker, who is at 5'10", having trouble with some high shots. Now, that took a bounce, and maybe that's the thing that you know about the field, because you're playing on your home field. You may know that dirt in front is real hard, and you're going to bounce it up high.
Yes, and it hasn't rained for a while, and you get these high-bouncing shots in front of that dirt as it gets harder and harder.
So it's 2-0 as Levittown Division's Frank Dorfman, number 99, will play long pole and second stick unit in the midfield, is in right now, along with Pat Boot, number 43, in the second midfield. 2-0. Levittown jumping in front here. And with an excellent goaltender, that's what you want to do in your own part. Now having trouble behind the cage, Brad Parpin. And he lost the ball, and looks like the ball will go over. There's a look at Dick Skillman, 17 years at Calhoun. Started the program after many years, was an outstanding player at Baldwin High School in football, baseball, and wrestling. Went to Cortland State, the same school Jimmy Amon went to.
Now, Cortland State is the alumni of many outstanding lacrosse coaches on Long Island, Barry.
Fast break off the turnover. Parpin, number 20, will wisely bring it back. Be patient. That's what their coach is calling him right now. Send it to the crease. The shot fired over the cage as he was checked, getting the shot off. Tommy O'Neill, number 32. And Jim Amon, you saw just a moment ago, as we'll have changes made for both clubs. The Colts of Calhoun, 11-5, 6-3 in league play. They lost to Garden City twice, 10-4 and 11-7, and to MacArthur 8-7. And 3 of the teams in this league are ranked in the top 10 in Nassau County, to show you how strong American C is, Kerry.
Well, it certainly is going to show, I think, in the playoffs, Barry, the strength of this league.
Harpin scores! Carbonell, I beg your pardon, number 23. Chris Carbonell, and Levittown Division coming out on fire, leading 3-0, and Dick Skillman says, let's take time out and settle things down right now, fellas. We haven't been behind like this against too many teams. Last time the two clubs played, it was 5-0 in favor of Calhoun.
That's right, and the last time they played, they put a lot of pressure on DiLorenzo and on the defense, and today, as we see it, right now they're not exerting that pressure. Here's the replay on that last goal. Carbonell dishing off, and then they're playing on a two against one right here, and it comes right back to Carbonell, and he's wide open with the nice bounce shot. There again, you see the bounce shot, Barry. High bounce right up over the goalie's shoulder, and this goalie may be having right now a little bit of trouble adjusting to the bouncing or the bounce shots, and he may also not yet be warmed up. Calhoun got here a little bit later than anticipated. Maybe he didn't have enough time in the warm-up to play the field and get accustomed to it.
All right, Brad Parpin got double coverage over there behind the cage, setting up Carbonell alone, and from that left wing side, he put it home. He drives hard to the cage. He's an excellent rider, and likes to play that goal line extended to that side. 2-year starter. Let's join Jimmy Amon.
Who's going to the crease? All right, Booten. When you circle out, Brad, when you circle out, when Coffee circles out, and you got the ball from Carbo, look out the top. He's open. He's open. Coffee's open. Look over the top. Let's go, Blue. We gotta get. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Go, next go, boys. Next go. Go, guys. All right.
I think that we're really getting an opportunity here, Jimmy Amon, talk a little bit more about attacking the zone. And obviously, as the zone shifts with the ball, Barry, the weak side or the offside to the ball is going to be open. And that's why they're saying with the ball behind, when it comes to Carbo, the weak side up top is going to be open. And that's where the man should be for a good shot on goal.
Adam Greaves will be taking the face-off for Calhoun. And let's see who's out there for Levittown Division. Pat Booten will take the face-off here. So far, it's been all Levittown Division. They have scored 3 goals in the first 5 minutes and 36 seconds. Carbonell, Huggard, and Carbonell again at 2:15, 4:24, and 5:36. And Division will come up with it again, Kerry.
And right back to DiLorenzo. He's the man who'll start it all.
It's like the point guard in basketball, really. He'll set it up.
That's exactly right, a quarterback. But you'll notice they're doing that also because it gives them a chance to get their clearing team on the field and their face-off team off.
That is a good point, and they will make changes in the midfield quite a bit. Now, down the wing as they work it. Number 8, sending the ball was Matt Huggard. Carbonell, number 23, has 2 goals already. He's their leading scorer, 31 on the year. Carbonell will wing it back to Steve Coffey, who has 11 goals, number 44. Calhoun still in that zone defense. Still early that they will not be forced to come out, right, Karen?
Oh, yeah, they're much too early. 3 goals, they'll be able to get that back, they feel. At least they have the confidence in their attack that they should be able to. But they're going to sit in it, and they're going to wait for the mistakes, I think, and we might have just seen one right here.
Yeah, Levittown threw it away. However, it was a deflection, and it will still be Levittown ball as we get the long poles put in by Calhoun in midfield. Numbers 36, 39, and 42 come in for Calhoun. That's Keith Panetti, 36, 39 is Mark Blake, and 42 is Carl Stegman in that long pole midfield unit. Now we'll watch him set up here. They lead 3-0. They'll wing it to Bergiou. Carbonell likes that side, throws it away this time. No deflection, second time he's thrown it away. And Calhoun, who really hasn't been able to set up their offense. We really haven't seen Calhoun at any real control. And we'll have the ball right here.
Well, they've come down twice early in the quarter, Barry, and they haven't really been able to do much off of their first 2 times down on the attack. We'll see right now whether or not they can really get anything started. They look to Bracker in the middle of the field. Not a great place for a goalie to be with the ball as he throws it back in front of his own goal mouth.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, DiLorenzo did not have a good game the last time these clubs played. Gave up something like 7 goals on the first 13 or 15 shots, which is not like him. Now an opportunity out high. Schliff drops it off, and the shot winged right on the goal, and a good save that time.
That's what Coach Skillman doesn't want his team to do. They've got to take really good shots against DiLorenzo. That was 1 pass and a shot. They've got to work to get a good shot in order to take advantage of that goal.
Adam Greaves had the shot. Now the pass intercepted by the big sticks for Calhoun. That's Billy O'Brien, who has 6 assists this year. Good look, but it could not be handled in front by Robert Munson, the senior attackman who has 13 goals. But Billy O'Brien, who will go to West Point, he's a top player, made a fine pass. You don't see too many defenders who can thread the needle like that.
That was a great pass by O'Brien, and Munson really did have time to catch the ball and take a shot. He tried to quick stick it, and he didn't have to. He wasn't under that much pressure. He could have received it, turned and shot.
All right, now Levittown, unsettled, trying to move it in, and the shot deflected just wide as they had a man moving in front. Tommy O'Neill, number 32, has 6 goals, a senior crease attackman who'll play at Nassau Community next year. And again, the long pole midfield unit comes in for Calhoun. As we mentioned the last meeting, in the rain, Calhoun won 7-3. They jumped off to a 5-0 lead as the excellent goaltender Jerry DiLorenzo did not have a good game. Second half was pretty even after the 5-0 halftime. Now they work it outside. We're down to 1:40, first quarter. Levittown surprising, leading 3-0 here. 2 schools with fine lacrosse traditions here in Nassau County.
This is really great right now for Jimmy Amon's team. He's worried about his defense, their inexperience, and meanwhile the ball is in the offensive half of the field, so he doesn't have to worry about it. As we look at Jimmy Amon, he can be a little bit more relaxed when the ball is in the offensive half and the pressure's not on his defense.
What a background this man has, not only a 4th-year division coach, but 6 years at John Hopkins assistant coach. He was a year at Hofstra as an assistant coach. He's had a tremendous background in lacrosse, and his son plays in the 9th grade team. He's a Levittown native, and his oldest son played for Levittown Memorial and was quite a player.
Right, he offers a great deal to these kids here at Levittown Division, and he really can help their lacrosse, and I'm sure he does a tremendous job in helping the whole program.
All right, they work it outside now. Matt Huggard dropping it off. Now behind the cage, Brad Parpin. Parpan cut off. We're down now to 50 seconds to go. Good look out in front. The low shot blocked in front. Good defensive play. Steve Coffey's shot was blocked, and it's recovered by Carbonell.
That was a nice shot and a good save, but I think the shot could have taken a little bit earlier, Barry. He took too many steps. He had the defenseman beat right away, and he drove 2-3 more steps to his right, and he could have taken it, I think, a little bit early and had a better shot.
We're down now to 27 seconds. They'll probably try to hold for 1. Coffey is 44. 11 goals, playing out on top. This looks like a 1-4-1 set.
That's correct, Barry. They're in a 1-4-1. Jimmy Amon likes the 1-4-1 because it gives a lot of opportunities to the man up top and behind, and that's a good part of their strength.
Blake deflected it away out of bounds. 10 seconds left. Time if they hurry to get a good shot off. And they'll play it on the far side. Some of the crowd here at Levittown Division, they've got a good tradition of supporting their athletics here. They've had great football teams early in the 80s and outstanding lacrosse teams certainly over that same span. Let's see what happens with Coffey. The look, cross field, off a stick. And as it goes out of bounds, the clock stops with 3 seconds left. Not enough time, really, unless they can really cheap clear it all the way down. Maybe to get a throw toward the goal. But if you are Coach Dick Skillman, what do you think you're telling your kids right now as this 3 seconds elapse?
Well, we just want to get the ball down to the attack half and, you know, maybe get a shot. If not, I'm not going to even worry about it in 3 seconds. We're going to get ready to play for the second quarter. That's what we have to start now. And you have to put this first quarter out of your mind, come back and start as if it's a 0-0 game, and you got to get 1 goal at a time. They certainly have the potential to do it. Schliff hasn't really done very much, neither has Pollock as yet.
Well, they have the offense. Bill O'Brien will cheap clear all the way down, throws it over the cage as the first quarter comes to an end. Jimmy Amon out there applauding. Dick Skillman says, okay, we're in for a ball game, fellas, and we better wake up in the second quarter. So after one, playing at home, Levittown Division leading Calhoun's Colts 3-0. We'll be right back. You're watching high school lacrosse on Cablevision.
I came for your low-priced muffler.
This is the one. It's some bargain. Guaranteed to grab you.
$18, right?
Oh, it won't fit your car. For your car, it's gonna cost more.
Did you have a bad dream, honey?
I'm gonna go to Midas.
Save yourself the nightmare. Get the right muffler for the right price. Midasize it.
I wonder if I can get a car loan.
Oh, I wonder if they'll give me a vacation loan.
Join the Apple Bank family, and you'll never have to wonder if you can meet your financial needs. You'll get a personal family banker, free, no-bounce checking, and more. Join the Apple Bank family and feel good about banking again. Come in or call Apple Bank for Savings. We're good for you.
And our thanks to Apple Bank for Savings, one of our fine sponsors. They've got new locations on Long Island, in Plainview, and of course in West Babylon. Let's take a look at the first quarter scoring, Carey, and it was all Levittown Division.
Carbonell, having 2 of the 3 goals, is really playing well so far. They're giving the wing area a little bit more room, and he's taking advantage of it, and Huggard has 1 goal also. So it's 3-0 favorite Division as we're just ready to begin the second period.
Division with 7 shots to 5 for Calhoun. A noisy bunch of fans just below us as we get set for the face-off right here. And Calhoun's got to win some of these face-offs and see if they can get it started here.
Well, Adam Greaves is the man that they look to in the face-off, Barry. He won the first one, and since then haven't really been able to take advantage of it as we get a close-up view right in on the face-off. Maybe we can catch what they're doing. They're
Greaves, a little guy at 5'5", 145, tries to win it with quickness, but Levittown comes up with the ball. And now looking unsettled here, and now they'll work it back out, and we'll re-identify the players for Levittown Division. Rob Bergeau is number 3. He hasn't touched the ball very much. Coffey has handled it mostly in the midfield, number 44. Now they'll work it. Number 20 is Brad Parpan. Bergeau looking over to his coach, Jimmy Amon, as now we'll get a substitution. The face-off man, Pat Booten, is out, and in comes Huggard in the midfield. This is Parpan, the good-looking sophomore who has great skills. Now work it behind to Parpan. Showing some patience here. Here's Coffey. Bergeau. Parpan with about a minute gone here in the second quarter. Barry Landers along with Kerry Gluck and Carl Reuter bringing you high school championship lacrosse. This is our final regular season game, and then a big playoff schedule coming up. Bergeau with the shot, misses the cage. Bergeau with 17 goals, an all-league football player and an all-league lacrosse player as well. Now we'll get substitutions in the midfield. Long poles will come in for Calhoun.
We're seeing Division Avenue right now, Barry, really taking control of the tempo of the game. They're being very patient. They're not rushing their shots. They're up by 3 goals right now, and they're just saying to themselves, we can stay here in the offense if you have to come out and play us, and we can pass the ball around all day. and not have any problems. And they're showing a lot of discipline and a lot of poise right now.
Well, something they haven't shown in previous games. Good shot. Bracker made the save. As something they haven't done is shoot accurately this year. They've had a lot of shots on goal in many of their games, but they haven't been accurate. Today, they have been accurate.
Right. Jimmy Amon was concerned about some of the shooting that they've been taking, haven't been on goal. And goalies haven't had to make the saves. And today they've been doing just that. But you see the patience, and that's why they may be getting better shots.
Lack of patience shown right there, however, by Calhoun. As you see the shots so far, Division with 9, Calhoun with 5. And in case you're just tuning in, 3 goals in the first 5.5 minutes of play gave Division a 3-0 lead. Chris Carbonell at 2:15, Matt Huggard at 4:24, and Chris Carbonell at 5:36. And that's the way we stand here. 3-0 in the score early in the second quarter. Now let's see if Calhoun puts some pressure on the ride here as number 7 for Division, Walter Scott. Cheap clears it. It's picked off. And Calhoun's got the ball. Brian Pollock dropped it off. Now number 25 is Robin Reed, or Rob Reed.
Well, we're seeing right now Division is in a zone, and their attacker in a zone and their man midfielder in a zone, and they're just trying to exert pressure. They're not locking on at the midfield. They're just playing a simple zone on the ride.
All right, now they'll get it across. Here's John Schliff. We haven't really seen him in action yet. Good look in front. Oh, look at DiLorenzo come out, make that check, but we'll have a penalty call. Number 11, Don Finnegan, was winding up to take the shot. There goes little gutsy Jerry DiLorenzo at 5'8", 165, challenging the 6-footer, and he checked him. And let's watch the replay on that one.
He checked him mighty high. You like to see a goalkeeper come out like that, but look how high he is, right up in the mass. Of course, that's going to be a 1 minute penalty. To serve that penalty, Barry, the officials put the in-home, goes into the penalty box. The goalkeeper stays on the field.
All right, so they're a man up, Calhoun, and they have been close to 60% man up this season. A remarkable figure. Pollock, the look out in front, throws a bad pass, but it's recovered by the midfielder, John Schliff.
That's really an excellent percentage, Barry. 60% is unheard of in a man up. I don't know if we're going to see them take advantage of it right now, because they just threw the ball away and Division will take over possession.
Ed O'Callahan with that bad cross-field pass. You don't want to make that kind of pass when you're a man up. You have so many other options.
Right, you shouldn't have to look all the way cross-field. Like you say, Barry, there are other options that you should be able to look to, not particularly that one.
For Levittown Division, man down, they have done superbly, given up just 5 goals in some 60 chances. That's a percentage of 88% of killing penalties. Remarkable.
That's also outstanding. You got to give a lot of credit to a defense. And as I said before, Barry, the success of man down is just simple aggressiveness, hustle, desire, and just, giving yourself the opportunity to give up.
Illegal procedure on White. Ball goes over to Calhoun. A costly mistake. Jim Amon arguing with the official on that call.
Yeah, I don't think Jimmy likes that call. He said they had man back on the offsides, but apparently Calhoun vehemently protested the first call that the official missed, and Bob Perch is under a little bit of pressure here from Coach Amon. As a matter of fact, Coach Amon really shouldn't even be on the field. Perch should right now tell him to get off the field, or he's going to give him an unsportsmanlike.
Now Dick Skillman comes out, and he's hot. And he wants to know what's going on. All right, so Jimmy Amon, fiery Jimmy Amon, who basketball and soccer coach. He played at Massapequa. Looks a little like Joe Paterno, a little younger version of Joe Paterno.
Yeah, with the dark glasses.
Right. 6 years at Johns Hopkins as an assistant. Head basketball coach there for a while. Opportunity here and wide. Pollock with a great look in front, and the goal scored by Finnegan. Brian Pollock showing why he has 44 assists. He put that right into the cradle of Mr. Finnegan. You couldn't miss from there.
That was a great feed by Pollock, and again, Finnegan has to give him credit too. He's taking that shot in traffic. He's getting that ball within a lot of men around him, and he stood his ground. He took the shot, and he also took the push afterwards into the crease. Doesn't bother him. He says, "I'll score my goal anyway."
So Donnie Finnegan, the quarterback of the football team, who has a knack for getting open and has scored against Garden City in last year's championship game, scores here.
There's the feed right to the weak side, and there he gets pushed from the back, but he takes his penalty or takes the shot, and of course there's no penalty on the goal.
So that penalty to DiLorenzo comes back to hurt him, and Calhoun with that close to 60% man up converts.
and they looked much better there, a little bit more under control and a little bit more poised, did Calhoun. And again, now they're back on the scoreboard, and that gets them a little bit fired up and gets them a little bit of confidence. And here we see them fast breaking.
15th goal, that was for Finnegan. They're on the break right now. Oh, what a great check from behind that time by Coffey. 44, what a play by Coffey. DiLorenzo way out of the cage. Boy, does he gamble. And we get a bounce behind the cage. Let's see what the call is going to be over there. Looks like a loose ball push.
It should be a loose ball push. Adam Greaves on the last play, Barry, did a nice job in the fast break, but he wasn't protecting his stick, which is why we were able to get the check by Levittown Division. But we give the ball right back to Calhoun, and they can obviously take good advantage of the situation right now.
You know, Calhoun has had trouble in the games that they've lost on face-offs. Adam Greaves lost a lot in the MacArthur game. McMahon beat him from Garden City quite heavily, and he's done that to just about everybody. Knocked down in front, DiLorenzo trying to get to it. Controlled by the Colts, looking for Finnegan out in front again from Pollock. And it's still scrambled out in front. And we're going to get a little pushing and shoving going on. We got a call made.
Again, we have a loose ball push now called against Calhoun. Division will take over possession, and we'll see them now clear. And
But
of course,
that
DiLorenzo.
last goal, Kerry, if I may jump in for a second,
Sure.
really has intensified the play of Calhoun. They seem to be a much livelier club now.
Right, that's exactly what I said just a moment ago, Barry, that they've got the confidence that they can score on DiLorenzo, and you've seen them, they're really fired up a little bit much after scoring that goal.
All right, Coffey comes up with it.
Look at them pressuring now on the ride, too.
Finnegan chasing.
And you'll
All
see they're
over
trying
Coffey.
to shut off DiLorenzo. There's a man right on DiLorenzo. Keep the ball away from him. Let the defenseman handle the ball, the less experienced players.
Look where DiLorenzo is, out at midfield. Nobody's back in goal. Calhoun will finally get the ball. DiLorenzo will have to run back as Bracker will play it behind the cage. What an exciting player DiLorenzo is.
He really makes things happen for Division, Barry. He really creates opportunities because he's a gambling type of goalie. And you really got to love it because it really makes the game exciting.
John Schliff will drop it off now, get it back. Schliff, number 8, drives it. Not a good shot. Took it far out. No real screen, Kerry. You got to be more patient. Get better shots against a guy like DiLorenzo. He's going to eat up that kind of shot.
Yeah, from that far outside, he sure will. And that's what Dick Skillman really was hoping that Calhoun would not do.
Carbonell inverting from behind now, working it. The look to the wing. Back out, Huggard. Throws it away from Bergeau out of bounds. It'll be Calhoun ball.
Well, Bergeau was making his cut to the goal, and the other player just didn't read it, and we get a ball thrown out of bounds and a timeout being called.
Jimmy Amon is upset. He's patting Huggard on the head. He's a very likable guy, Jimmy, the athletic director here. Let's take a look at league standings. Of course, Garden City had a couple of scares last week, but they're still riding high, 9-0. Calhoun at 6-3, MacArthur 5-4. And as we said earlier, you look at this division team, they're 4-5 in league play, but 2 of their losses have come against Garden City and another against MacArthur, and they're a good club. Let's go to Carl Reuter down to the field.
Thanks very much, Barry. I have defenseman down here, Roy Shahovsky, who was out with a concussion and a broken nose. How do you get a broken nose in lacrosse with that big mask?
Well, my helmet came unstrapped, and I guess the face mask went into my face when I hit the kid.
Will you be ready, Roy? Will you be ready? I'm sorry. Will you be ready if you get into the playoffs come Friday?
Yeah, I have to get a written note from the doctor, and I definitely will be playing Friday, I hope.
Talk a little bit about your goaltender. He likes to come out of the cage a little bit, Mr. DiLorenzo. When you're on the field playing, do you cover up at times for him?
Yeah, I do cover up for him a lot of times. But, you know, he's senior, you know, he's very good, he's very fast. And I think he could hold himself out there, you know.
Team got off to a quick start, scoring 3 goals in about 3.5 minutes in the first quarter. Is that something that coach would like to see more often?
Yeah, a lot. We usually come back like in the second half, you know, but we should do it in the first and second quarter, you know.
Well, Barry, he's only a sophomore, so he's got 2 more years. Hopefully he will be playing on Friday if Division gets into the playoffs. Roy, best of luck, and hope that nose gets better there.
I hope so. I'll be playing Friday, I hope.
Barry, he says he'll be there. Back up to you.
And I'm sure he will. He's a tough young man. And you know what's even more remarkable about the effort today by this Levittown Division team is, Kerry, without Suhaki a regular, without Romano a regular, they're playing a couple of inexperienced people back there, and they were inexperienced to begin the beginning of the season, no less.
And they're doing an excellent job, Barry. They really are. They're cutting off a lot of Calhoun's opportunities, but they're doing it also on a lot of aggressive and a lot of hustling play.
They're coming up with a lot of those ground balls at midfield as they just did, but Carbonell is checked. Trying to scoop it is Ed O'Callahan, number 44. He's got it. And here's a guy who can fly, Adam Greaves, the junior. Plays on that first midfield unit. Over to number 8, John Schliff, 46 points, 27 goals, had 5 goals against MacArthur. The first game this season, had 3 goals and an assist against Levittown Division in that 7-3 win back on April 24th. Now he'll invert and go behind, normally a midfielder, working against the young defender back there.
And
Look
right
out for Pollock. Oh, what a shot by Pollock.
Saw that one coming, Barry. As soon as Division went to double up on John Schliff, they left open Brian Pollock, and he took a great shot, a nice bounce shot right over DiLorenzo.
Pollock, who had 8 assists against MacArthur for a school record. He's a great one-on-one player. He can come out from behind the cage. That was a big goal for his team. He was converted from midfield to attack this year. Excellent ability to control the ball, and he can really crank it up too.
Here's the replay. Here's the double. You saw the double on Schliff behind, which left Pollock open, and he took a nice bounce shot to go over DiLorenzo's shoulder.
People talk about the only thing Brian Pollock doesn't have is a super hard shot, but it's a very accurate shot. He knows what to do when he gets the ball.
Well, that's the name of the game. You got to put it on the cage. The goalies, you want the goalie to make the save. If he doesn't have to make the save, it's easy.
So Calhoun has cut that 3-0 deficit to 3-2, and they've got the ball here after coming up with that face-off. Greaves winning it. And it's second quarter with 3:28 and counting, down to halftime. Calhoun trailing 3-2, but they've got the ball. Back out on top. They'll work it from behind now. Huggard looking to set it up, working one-on-one against Coffey. Coffey checked it away. Who's going to come up with that loose ball? DiLorenzo away out of the cage again. Pollock going after it. Pollock's got it, but DiLorenzo able to get back in goal. Look at Pollock in the open field, getting around 2 men. Look at him control, still holds the ball. Flag will be dropped, delayed penalty coming up against Calhoun, as Pollock will work behind against number 75 over there, Joe Pfeiffer. Joe, a senior, starter all year, and we're tied at 3-all.
That was a great feed by Brian Pollock. Number 16 scored the goal. That was Tommy Nader. Gives him 6 goals for the season, 1 assist, 7 points. Only a sophomore, and he looked real well on that. He handled the pass from Pollock beautifully. He quick stick that the pass right into the goal. DiLorenzo didn't even really have time to turn around and try and make the save on the shot.
He's the heir apparent for Pollock next year. He's only a sophomore with great skills, only a righty right now. But once he develops a left hand, he's going to be tough.
Here comes Pollock. He'll drive the cage.
Pfeiffer.
And he looks to the offside, and right there is standing, again, Tommy Nader. Makes it look easy. Nice little quick poised player. Took that on the quick stick and just bounced it right in, and DiLorenzo really couldn't do very much to try and make the save.
Well, one of the things that Dick Skillman likes is he likes a lot of people playing on an attack. He'll rotate a lot of people with Brian Pollock in there. Pollock will play just about all the time, but you'll see outside of Donnie Finnegan, you'll see Nader in there. You'll see other people. Bobby Angrilla, we haven't seen him. Number 15 plays a lot of attack. Robert Munson, number 23. So he uses a lot of people on attack, and they're all similar, quick, not big. And they can put the ball in the cage.
And that's the name of the game, put the ball in the cage. You don't have to be that big to do that. That's the beauty of lacrosse too, Barry, that it's a game for people of all sizes. You don't have to be a giant to play lacrosse.
Kerry, let's update folks on what's happening out in Suffolk as far as the playoffs are concerned, and late developments as far as upsets and so on.
Well, the playoffs begin next week out in Suffolk County, and the final league games are going to be played Friday and Saturday of this week. And right now, I think it's, things are beginning to fall into place. We're seeing Sachem and Ward Melvin, League 1, are having a good year. League 2, Hills East, and the teams that we saw on Saturday, Walt Whitman should be in the playoffs, and it's a dogfight possibly between Smithtown East, West Islip getting in. Harbor Fields is having a good shot at it. Comac North, Hills West, all have opportunities in the playoffs.
Halftime, Carlin Court will be discussing some of the outstanding stories in lacrosse this year in the first half summary. Hope you enjoy the halftime. We've got 2:39 to go. And of course, there was a penalty on that last play, the slashing penalty. So right now, after the face-off, we'll have, it looks like we've got 2 men in the box, 1 for each team right now.
No, I think
just
Division
Pfeiffer. I beg your
Division
pardon.
Avenue is the man down.
Right.
They really can use this ball right now. They don't want to see the, and they come up with the ball and
they're
in the box.
in the box. So Carbonell in the box. So the penalty is over. No, Pfeiffer hasn't been released yet. The officials have not released him.
Penalty's over.
They still have a man in the box. Well, he's released. Yeah, I guess so. It was a little confusion. Eamon pushed him out of the field. Frank Cortelli noticed. We're trying to look behind a pole here to see who has the ball. And right now in midfield, right now, Levittown with it. We're down to 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go. Score is deadlocked at 3-all. Calhoun has answered 3 straight goals after falling behind 3-0. Here for number 3 is Levittown Division's Robbie Bergeau. He works in midfield. Huggard, number 8. Coffee, 44 on the far side. What's the stack look like down below?
Well, they're just they're sending men through for cutters, and they're coming back out, and they're really being very patient against the zone. They also look like they're only trying to work for a couple of very good shots and take advantage of those best opportunities.
Only a minute 25 to go in the half. Maybe they'll try to waste the entire time and at least go off at no worse than tied.
Yep, I think you might be right, Barry. They're being very patient. I think they're only going to work possibly for just one shot. You see them holding it out. The official isn't telling them yet that they got to go to the cage.
Carbonell, who scored a couple from that side, tightly guarded there. Down to 1 minute now. First half, deadlocked at 3-all. Coffee way out, just eating up the clock.
All right, now the official has told him that he's got to go to the cage, Barry. So now once they get it into the box, they got to keep it in.
Timeout taken by Levittown Division. Jimmy Amon to talk it over and set up a play. And Kerry, as we mentioned, him in far as Suffolk teams are concerned, they're going to have the tournament coming up. And Nassau's tournament will be starting shortly. They're going to have the seating. And the way it's set up, it's not based strictly on record. Maybe you could tell the folks how they'll determine the 16 A teams and the 10 B teams that'll take part in their respective tournaments.
Well, they've taken, Nassau County puts a lot of teams into their tournament, total of about 26 players. But let's listen to Dick Skillman right now as he talks to the Calhoun team.
Halfway between the goal line and the restraining line, right? If we get the ball, cows, cheap it right at the goal, deep down at the goal, up in the air. You two cut right in it.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! There's no score. Let's go!
Gotta work. 1, 2, 3.
Gotta hold him, Gotta hold him. Let's go,
Well, we're telling, Dick Skillman's telling his defense, they've got to play real good defense right now, where if they do come up with the ball, they just want to cheap it down, get it to the attack half, and hopefully if they can, either get possession and call a timeout if there is enough time, or if not, just take the shot. But really, that's all Dick Skillman's trying to tell his players right now.
Jim Amon there beat Garden City's team 2 years ago, 6-5. That's the only Long Island team to beat him in the last 3 years, Kerry. The other loss came in the state finals.
Yeah, that was to West Jenny, as we recall, and about 3 years ago, Barry.
Long time. They've, what, 41, 42 in a row, Garden City. All right, let's see what happens here. A chance for Levittown Division with 43 seconds. They've got possession. Coffee is 44. This is Parpan. Carbonell, 23, working behind. Bergeau, back to Coffee. 26 seconds to go in the half. And another timeout. So they're really playing it close to the vest right here.
Jimmy Amon wants to take advantage of everything he knows, all the little tricks to try and take advantage of this opportunity to go up at the half.
Well, Division really had quite a victory over West Hempstead. They were trailing 7-3 in their last game last Friday, came back and won 11-9. So they're coming off a high, and they started that way, like a team that had a big high.
Yes, and then coming off that win, that's really what they need. You know, a win here puts them 5-5 in the league, Barry, and it brings them right into a dogfight for second place with MacArthur and with Calhoun.
All right, and the playoffs, as we said, begin coming up in just a short time in Nassau County. And speaking of that, we're going to have a lot of playoff action. Kerry and I will be on hand for the Nassau County A and B championships, and of course the Suffolk County Championship game at Central Islip 2. Here's a look at our schedule. In lacrosse, the Nassau A and B final to be played at Hofstra on Tuesday night, May 26th. Mark it down. Going to be a great doubleheader. That's always a great doubleheader. And who could forget last year when we had Garden City and Calhoun in a great game, scoreless at half. Garden City won it 6-4, and Elmont and Lynbrook in a classic.
Oh, what a game that was, Barry. If you remember that Lynbrook-Elmont game, that was one of the best high school lacrosse games that we've seen.
I wonder if that baby is going to grow up. Carrie Gluck, speaking of babies, your wife is due any minute.
That could be my child.
I don't know about that, Carrie. All right, ready to go here with 23 seconds to go. They've got time to set it up. The last shot here, it'll be a big psychological lift if they can score here. They led 3-0 all in the first quarter. We're down to 12 seconds to go. Parpan. Cut off. The lookout in front gets away, and that should do it for the half. 3 seconds. 2, 1. We get a push, and let's see what the call is going to be. Is it an offside?
No, we should have a push called against Calhoun. Division will have the ball with just 2 seconds to go, Barry. He's winding up at midfield. They're just going to let it fly.
This is number 44, Steve Coffey. He'll bounce it, blocked in front, and that will do it for the first half. So a story of 2 different quarters. The first quarter owned by Levittown, 3-0. Calhoun comes back, and they score the only 3 goals in the second quarter. We're deadlocked at halftime. So that's the story. We'll be back with Carlin Court coming up, our halftime report and the first half summary. You're watching exciting high school lacrosse on Cablevision.
Jerry McDougall, I understand that Apple Bank offers the lowest rate in credit cards.
Yes, Barry, our 15.8% is the lowest Visa card rate in the New York metropolitan area.
Any other features, Jerry?
Many, Barry. For example, we offer Visa checks free of charge, and the $20 annual fee is deferred until first use of your card. Many banks charge as much as 19 to 20%, but at Apple Bank, you enjoy a world of credit at down-to-earth rates.
I'll trade my dance in Chautauqua for Hal's painting in Albany.
Done.
But you still need music.
Don't forget museums. Who is that guy?
The pitcher. What's he doing here? Giving the pitch, darling.
Not darling, McDowell. And here's the pitch.
Call for your free I Love New York Celebration of the Arts brochure.
Say, who's winning this game?
When it comes to the arts in New York State, everybody wins.
Carl Reuter back here at Levittown Division, joined by Frank Cortali, Carlin Court. Frank, an interesting ball game, 3-3 at the half.
We got a good one going here. Got Division up 3-0. Calhoun battles right back.
I'll tell you something. Why don't we take a look at some of the rankings this year, up to date right now in Long Island, because we have some teams in this conference that are really putting numbers on the board.
This could be the top league in Nassau County. The 3 teams in red, Garden City, MacArthur, and Calhoun, all in this league. Division was in the top 10 earlier this year. They're not in it now. But there you see, just the top teams on Long Island coming right from this league, and the rest of them, Elmont, Bethpage, Farmingdale, and the rest going down through 10 with Manhasset.
Well, you saw those powerhouses, Elmont and Bethpage, Garden City, everybody's favorite. Might even be dubbed, some say, #1 team in the country, let alone New York State.
Garden City, they played New Canaan, a team from Connecticut who were state champs, and they beat them rather handily, 9-5. Wasn't as close as the score.
Now, during the course of the year, we've asked for you to write into us here at Cablevision concerning anything about sports. And, Frank, I think you have an interesting letter there.
Yeah, we do have a letter, by the way. Chris Citino wrote into us from Bethpage. I'd like to read you a portion of his letter. Chris says, I would just...
it's a little windy out here today.
Bear with me here. So I would like to compliment you on your outstanding coverage in high school sports. I have one complaint, though. He would like to see Bethpage on in a lacrosse game. Well, Chris, as you saw, the Nassau County coaches ranked Bethpage Golden Eagles #3. So if they can make it to the county finals, they weren't on our regular season schedule, but if they can make it to the county finals, our Cablevision cameras will be right there waiting to put them on Cablevision. Chris, we'd like to say good luck to you and your teammates. Chris Citino is a member of that Bethpage lacrosse team.
Maybe that's one of the reasons that he wrote that letter in, and maybe we will see Chris and his Golden Eagles down the path in the playoffs.
We just might, and we might right now take a look at Kevin Gilfillan in our last Long Island Sports Network game. We saw Walt Whitman High School taking on West Islip High School. Kevin Gilfillan, Carl.
He put on quite a show that day against West Islip. He had 3 goals in the ball game. In fact, this is the second time that Kevin Gilfillan has won an Apple Bank Most Valuable Player. We had him earlier in the year in soccer. Just an outstanding athlete. There you see him putting in one of his 3 goals, and tremendous ball game when we showed them against the Lions of West Islip.
That's right. They jumped out to a 6-0 lead thanks to number 53, Kevin Gilfillan.
Okay, now, if people want to get a hat, right? I mean, I don't know, it might have blown away in the wind. No, we're going to get it right here.
Here it is.
Being handed in to us. And Chris Citino was one that's going to get this hat.
We're going to mail this right out to Chris. This is his hat.
What about letters? Where can we write, Frank?
Well, they can, Cablevision viewers can send their letters, their complaints. If they want to see their team on the Long Island Sports Network, One Media Crossways, Woodbury, New York, 11797. And one of these hats will be yours.
And I guess the next time we will see each other, we'll be in the playoffs.
Playoffs, lacrosse playoffs, or the baseball playoffs.
Whichever. Doesn't matter. Frank and I will be there. Frank, always a pleasure. for another version of Carl and Court. Now stay tuned. I'll be joined by Carrie Gluck. We'll go over some halftime numbers as Frank dons the Long Island Cablevision hat. And we'll be back with some more halftime activities following this timeout. You're watching high school lacrosse on Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network.
Jerry, here's a free pass to our next game.
Thanks, Barry, and here's something free for you, a free Apple Bank checking account.
Free?
Absolutely free. No monthly maintenance charges, no per-check charges, nothing.
I can write all the checks I want at no cost?
The only charge you'll get is out of Apple Bank's fine service. And we'll pay you 5.25% interest on balances of $700 or more.
Apple Bank for savings. We're good for you.
Hi, I'm Gary Carter from the 1986 World Champion New York Mets, and I've got an important message. Support your local high school sports teams by watching Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network. Just think, you may be watching an upcoming world champion. After all, we all had to start somewhere. So tune in and catch the award-winning coverage on Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network, where you've always got the home advantage.
Carl Reuter joined now by Carrie Gluck. And Carrie, a very interesting first half where Division scores 3 quick goals in the first quarter, but we're tied at the half.
I think right now, Carl, this is the kind of game that we anticipated from the very beginning. It's the preliminary, I think, to the playoffs, and both these teams are really getting ready for the playoffs just right by this game.
How come, from a coach's standpoint, when you talk about a team like Division, you talk about their lack of scoring punch, bingo, 3 quickies in the first quarter?
Well, you know, a couple of factors come into the play. First, I think Calhoun comes into play right now, and they may be a little overconfident coming in against Division with the losing record. Division comes into this game knowing that they really have to do well. They want to get into the playoffs. They have a losing record. They've got to impress and get into the seeds, and they have to come out storming. And they know that, and they know they have Jerry DiLorenzo behind them to help them.
What about his play wandering out of the cage like that? You as a coach, do you like that? I mean, he's capable. Would you like it?
Oh, yeah, it adds a great dimension to a team. He's a fourth defenseman. He's a midfielder on his clears. He comes all the way up to midfield. He really creates a lot of opportunities. It makes the game exciting, and DiLorenzo is doing a great job in doing just that.
All right, the scoreboard is tied 3, Carrie, and we also have a couple of numbers at halftime that I don't think are too surprising, because as the scoreboard is even, look at the numbers during the course of the first half.
The only difference that we really can see any kind of any difference on is the shots on goal, and once where Division was in control of the shots on goal, Calhoun has made their comeback. Saves are very close. Division DiLorenzo having more saves than Bracker. Face-offs are on the nose, 4 each, and the ground balls 9-8, and that could be the difference. I think as we take a look at the statistics, face-offs and ground balls could be the difference in the game at the final whistle.
All right, Carrie, I mentioned the play of DiLorenzo, how he likes to roam out of the cage. Maybe we get another look at him, and here he is in action, just taking the ball for the clear.
And as we see, he really creates, and he started this goal as we see him feed up to the attack, and the attackman coming across, setting up for the fast break, looking cross field, and Division makes it look real easy. Bracker is right now at the mercy of Carbonell, and that was a nice goal, but you got to give credit to DiLorenzo. Carbonell makes it go in, but DiLorenzo started the whole thing.
All right, so we're at where we started. We're even. What happens now in the second half, Coach?
Well, it's a 0-0 game as far as coaches are concerned. You've got 20 minutes now of lacrosse to play, and Coach Skillman says we've got to take a little bit more offense, I think. He's playing too much defense, and Jimmy Amon is saying, let's keep it just the way we're doing, guys. Let's keep it out of our defensive zone. Let's keep the ball with the attack. Let's keep shooting on this goalie, and he's going to make mistakes. Keep pressuring the zone. Force them to come out and play you, and let's keep on scoring.
All right, Carrie, we will look forward to your comments in the second half as you climb back up that spiral staircase into the press box to join Barry Landers. Again, thanks for coming by, and we invite you to stay tuned for the second half. And we'll be back with that following this timeout. You're watching high school lacrosse on Cablevision's Long Island Sports Network.
Jerry McDougall, I understand that Apple Bank offers the lowest rate in credit cards.
Yes, Barry, our 15.8% is the lowest Visa card rate in the New York metropolitan area.
Any other features, Jerry?
Many, Barry. For example, we offer Visa checks free of charge, and the $20 annual fee is deferred until first use of your card. Many banks charge as much as 19 to 20%, but at Apple Bank, you enjoy a world of credit at down-to-earth rates.
Welcome to the News 12 Long Island newsroom. These are the people who work around the clock, 7 days a week, to bring news home to you. These are the people you can count on. Channel 12, the news, on the air, on the job, 24 hours every day.
This is where I live most of the time. This is where I do what I do. And all the people I know making great music need all their brain cells to do it. Music is emotion, and you have to be your real self to feel your real emotion. Drugs have nothing to do with music, although people may try to make it seem like they do. The thing is, you can't reach your full potential if you take drugs. It's that simple. And that's why I don't.
Brought to you by MTV, RAD, and your local cable system.
We're ready to go. Second half action should be a dandy. We're tied at 3-3. Number 4.